The trailer for Season 5, Episode 6 of The Boys has recently been released, and following 2 episodes that were seen to be slightly controversial due to the filler-esque nature of them, this next episode looks like it's gonna be one that feels like a proper episode of The Boys. It feels very Season 3 based on the trailer. There's action, it looks like there's plot development, and could Soulja Boy well be changing sides again? Well, in this video, I wanted to break down the trailer frame by frame and also give my theories and predictions on what I think will happen next. So let's get into it. Here is The Boys Season 5 Episode 6 trailer explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. So the trailer opened up with Butcher, Mother's Milk and Kimiko running through the dead of night, and in my opinion, it feels like this is all building towards this scene here that we saw in the wider trailer. The shot where Homelander is shooting his laser vision up into the air because something triggered it, and that very thing seems like it could be Homelander getting his hands on the V1. The hunt for V1 is truly on more than ever now, especially now that both sides of the search party know that the V1 lies with Bombsight. So Butcher and the crew and Homelander and Soulja Boy will be going there with the intention of getting the V1 no matter what. It's now a race just focused on who can get there first and either destroy it or take it. Huey said to Starlight, "The guys are going to find Bombsight. They'll get the V1. You're not dying." A character being told they're not going to die. Not the wisest thing to say, and it definitely makes me think that a death is going to be on the horizon in the next episode now. As we know, Starlight was originally prepared to die for the cause and sacrifice herself because many people had been making sacrifices in her name. However, with the discovery of V1 and the immunity that it can bring to the virus, this led Starlight to change her mind and to actually want to survive. So with Butcher telling Huey in the most recent episode that if he found the V1, he'd keep some behind for Starlight and Kimiko, this will most likely be going through Starlight's mind. The idea of Homelander getting the V1 and Butcher not, or if Butcher simply releases the virus, then she could well die. She's being faced with her own mortality for one of the first times in her life. As this was being said, there were a couple of shots that flashed up in quick succession during the conversation. We saw one of Homelander and Sister Sage looking at somebody that was on the ground with blood all around him. Homelander and Sage were originally behind the door, but then Homelander opened it up and walked into the room where it looked like the person was now dead. This looked like one of the cells inside a vault that Stan Edgar was being kept in, so we know that it's most probably there. However, what I think this moment is Homelander being shown by Sister Sage the in-house V1 that the Vault scientists were trying to develop, and she's going to be showing him that it's just simply not working because it's too unstable. A couple of episodes back, Homelander wanted Sage to tell all of the scientists to grind their other projects to a halt and just work on creating V1, even skipping the animal testing and instead going straight to human testing. So this is exactly what I think that moment is. It'll be the human testing not working and innocent people from the internment camps being brought to Vought and tested on. As well as this, we also saw the scene with the Deep looking like he was covered in something. We first saw this shot in the main trailer for the season, and it's accompanied by a shot of a fish also covered in it as well. With Black Noir being fed up with the way that the Deep treats him, and the Deep most recently saying to him that he needed to do everything that he said, or he'd make his life hell. Because the Deep is a soup and Black Noir isn't, the inferiority is going to be felt by Black Noir because he can't do anything about it. So I think Black Noir is going to get the Deep where it hurts most, the fish. This could be why the Deep looked so emotional, because maybe the Deep kills certain fish or specific ones that the Deep is fond of, and because the Deep can understand them, he might just hear a large amount of suffering and pain. So that could be Black Noir's way of getting revenge. The next part of the trailer then saw Butcher, Kimiko, Mother's Milk and Frenchie in a parking lot with a lady in a wheelchair, somebody that we haven't seen before. Frenchie said, "Why are you so certain that Bombsight will come here?" And this makes me think that the person that they have is leverage and a way of drawing him out. As we know, Bombsight took the V1 all of those years ago along with Soulja Boy, so it makes him around 100 years old, with the lady looking like she was taken from what was a retirement home called Vault Villages, an oasis for soup seniors. I wonder if this could be his daughter, as she could well be of retirement age at this point, especially if he had her when he was in his 30s. Or could it in fact be a soup that Bombsight was once in love with? Maybe his wife from before, but obviously because he took the V1 he doesn't age, so she would have continued to age. As this was said, there was a shot of Kimiko fighting with a woman that had powers, and it looked like she could emit fire from her hands. I feel like this could be Flameburner. Flameburner was mentioned by Homelander in the Season 4 finale when it came to getting Supes recruited to stop the rioting, so this might be her on-screen appearance, and seeing as though she's fighting against Kimiko, it wouldn't surprise me if it was her. Then we finally got to see him. Bombsight appeared out of the darkness and walked towards them as it seemed like the leverage is going to work and it's going to draw him out. This was then followed by a shot of Butcher fighting against somebody, but there was almost this energy and resistance that prevented him from landing any real weight against the person that he was trying to fight, plus there was also a look of confusion on his face. There was a shot of Soldier Boy punching Homelander, and all I can say to this is that I reckon this will be a confrontation that will occur due to their individual histories, with Stormfront finally rising to the surface. They both haven't really spoken to each other about their time and history with Stormfront, and as we know, Soldier Boy has an entire spin-off show that's coming which is alongside Stormfront. So I wonder if Homelander is going to say something about her, or maybe even their relationship that might just annoy Soldier Boy. As well as that, there was a shot of Butcher going to meet with the Legend, and we can tell it's Butcher by the booze in the flask that he's got. The Legend said, "If I know you, Butcher, there's no way this doesn't end up bloody." I'm presuming that Butcher is going to go to the Legend with the hopes of finding out information on Bombsight, and this could potentially be where he finds out that information on the leverage that he needs in the way of drawing Bombsight out. After all, the Legend was the senior vice president of hero management at Vought, so he'd probably have some intel on him. Within the comics, it's widely known that Old Legend died of a heart attack. However, it was later revealed that Butcher killed him when he went to visit him by jumping on his back and crushing his spinal column. So with it being towards the end of the TV series, I imagine we could potentially end up seeing that scene taking place. Within the comics, it's something that happens off camera, but with the TV series always leaning into the gore, I imagine this will be a scene that we'll definitely see. After this, there was then a quick succession of shots that was accompanied by the music hitting a crescendo as we build towards the end of the trailer. One was of Starlight going to the Democratic Church of America headquarters and being greeted by Oh Father. He did actually use his powers on her, so she's probably going to get caught snooping around. It was said how the Gen V crew were going to be in this final season, and personally, I can't see Annie being at Vought HQ on her own, so it wouldn't surprise me if the Gen V crew appear and help her with getting inside of Vought. Personally, with the show being cancelled, I don't actually really want their involvement to be that heavy in the final few episodes. I don't want Marie to be the one that contributes to Homelander's demise if it happens, because it'll all be for nothing as we won't really be seeing those characters anymore. I want it to be Butcher and the characters that we've seen struggle at the hands of Homelander for years. There was a shot of Bombsight utilizing his flying ability and fighting with Butcher, and there was also one of Soldier Boy looking like he was attacking Bombsight too. I'm guessing this is going to be because Soldier Boy doesn't actually like Bombsight that much, and it's all going to stem from a feud during the 1950s, during the era of Vought Rising. So I don't think Soldier Boy will have changed sides at this point. Instead, I think he's going to be letting out his anger on the person that he hates from his past. It seems like all parties are going to be present at the meeting with Bombsight, which means only one thing. It's bound to be an absolute bloodbath. Personally, I think Homelander is going to get the V1, and it'll then throw everything into pure chaos for the final 2 episodes, which is what I think this show needs. I'm ready for it. Are you? So, there you have it, The Boys Season 5 Episode 6 trailer explained.